anything can happen.
Alrighty, so we do take a look at Immortals as their defense rolls out here. They're not going to be going for anything on the control. The one thing about this Immortals squad, they don't seem all that eager to pop Mei into situations that other teams might. Like, you take a look at teams like C9 as of late, kind of feel, they don't always run a Mei either, but it's so really, really good on First Point Hollywood, but they're just going with raw power here between the Roadhog and McCree.
Well, I think the issue is that Hyped is the one that usually plays Mei, and sometimes it has been Agilities, but their main Mei is also their main Zarya player, and in the current meta, you just can't take out Zarya. We saw Cloud9 do different things, but Mendo or Surefour has to play Zarya, because it's very hard to do without it.
Alright, take a look here at the offense coming out. Manitin gonna be running that hog as well. Manitin, one of the scarier Roadhogs in the game. When I think good Roadhogs, of course, you think about players like Harblue, you think about players like Manitin, and you think about players like Himsy, but Manitin right now just looking for the first hook. Doesn't quite get it early on, but LG gonna be pretty aggressive here as they look for hook after hook.
Yeah, it's just a matter if they're going to rotate in. They're going to. That decision was made for them that they're not able to go up top. They had to try to come in and save Manitin. Now they're just going to try to back out. We're going to wonder how aggressive Immortals is going to be on the chase. It looks like about halfway aggressive. I think a lot of teams prefer to rotate up the stairs and try to get around in high ground and force the fight up there. Like I said, that decision was made for them by the fact that Manitin got hooked. They tried to collapse on him and save him. Unable to get there, a complete reset buys them about 40 seconds of this first point hold already.
And fortunate thing for their advantage is that when you're being really aggressive on Roadhog hooks, you do open yourself up to getting hooked by the other Roadhog. But here we go, offense moving in, Nano Boost is out on the Ruster. Ruster doesn't get too much out of it. Meanwhile, Nano Boost out on Nomi, who's got significantly more, takes down Zarya, pushes Ruster back, and Ruster very likely about to fall. Nomi winning the Reinhardt v Reinhardt battle in Abyss. Oh, and he's not done yet. The Earthshatter comes in. Hyper aggro is the side of Immortals here, and it pays off as Hype picks up 3 and builds his ultimate in the process.
It's a full cleanup. It's exactly what you want to do. And when I mentioned that there's players on this roster who didn't have great games yesterday, there's a lot of times where the role that they're playing, they're getting outplayed by their counterpart, and you never really want to be in that position where you're getting hooked by the other Roadhog and you're getting charged by the other Reinhardt. You need to start winning some 1v1 battles. This grab comes in pretty late. You're going to be able to clean up your whole hog to the side. Stalled out though.
Gravitron coming in from the defense. They don't get too much on just yet, but it forces the offense in a rough position. Let's Grim Reality now just clean up as the fight is wrapping down. Picks up 2, looking for a little bit more. And again, look at how deep Immortals is going here. Usually defenses hold back, and honestly, Manitin lucky he didn't die there towards the very end.
This is the fight that LG has to win, and I don't have to tell you why. Just avert your eyes to the top of the screen, and you can see a whole lot of blue marks. Those are good things to have in Overwatch, and a very few on the other side of the screen. This is their best fight. They have to win this.
Spree gonna open up here with the Graviton. Zave piling on with the Nano Boost. Defensive Sound Bear is out. Offensive Sound Bear is out. This is a must-win fight here from LG, and they have not gotten a single kill off it just yet. But Icefell taking down Agilities, trying to start the snowball. Ruster hanging onto this Earth Shatter, deciding what's going to be a good time to use it. Just rushes in on the Ithon. 3 kills overall here from LG, and again, with that many resources to their name, it would have been a disaster if they didn't actually take that fight.
It would have been embarrassing if they didn't take that fight, although we've seen some fights go just very awry even when you have that big of an advantage. But it was 6 to, I think, 3 at the time, and the one of them didn't even get used, so they definitely had to win that fight. They do chase in late and get punished for it, so they're going to give Agilities a little more ultimate of his own. Now I had a full whole hog based on, I mean, I don't mind chasing with Zarya usually, because you should be able to get out alive. Spree failed to do so there. Didn't cost him too much, just based on the phase of the game we're in. It's just odd to see Zarya die like that in a chase.
Defense setting up here on the rooftops once more. Ultimate-wise, the offense pretty much spent. So Immortals should have an easier time this here. Deadeye coming in from Grim Reality, just looking for one pick-off. Doesn't quite get it. Thought he had something when he didn't. And Chance really deep there. I don't know if he got hooked or what, but that was much too deep to be a Lucio. And now it's going to open up the offense here for an opportunity. Zave with the Nano Boost sets up Nomi. But it's going to be Agilities right now being the hero, bring things back on the Nano Boost, on the whole hog, just carving through the side of LG. So Agility stopping what could have been a big turnabout here for LG.
It's really one of the only heroes who will get a target only when they have the ultimate ability as Roadhog. You can give Reaper the boost when he's just fine. You can do the same with Reinhardt, they'll build it. But Roadhog's got such a small clip that you don't want him boosted unless he's got whole hog. But a boosted whole hog is nothing to trifle with. And they are going to just hold this high high ground. No great answers to the high ground. They're probably going to be trying to hit a hook. Manitin looks for the angle on his counterpart, misses his initial hook. Agilities does not miss his. Full spree up onto the balcony. No follow-up there, too.
Graviton Surge coming in here for the offense. They already have a 1% advantage. Agility's going to try to bring it back, and both of his hooks not actually giving him the person. They both get stopped by the ceiling, so because of that, it's going to be a turnabout here for Luminosity, a bountiful reward, and now they're in a good opportunity to take second. Defense is going to have to rush out here, not in the best position. Nomi, I think he's looking for the creeping Earth Shatter here, potentially. He's thinking about it anyways.
Well, Grim Reality's in trouble because he was going to try to hide up here, did not know there's people taking an elevator up, but he waits for his team to get in. He's going to stay alive as Agilities comes in and takes down 2 immediately. They do give up the high ground, though, as Icefeld and Zave are up here taking over the top, but it is way too late. Agility cleans up that fight all by himself for the most part.
And I gotta say, for Agilities, it's almost felt like a coming-of-age type thing here, where I know Immortals has been leveling up over time, but Agility's really putting on a show this weekend in particular, where there's one point where it sort of felt like Grim Reality had to shoulder a lot of the burden, but Agility is really coming into his own as part of this 1-2 punch combo that is out for Immortals, and arguably Rolte, I think, probably have a better day than Grim Reality, so really good stuff coming out for them. And that's not knocking Grim Reality, it's just how good Agilities has been playing as the defense sets up here over the top.
When a Genji main evolves into a DPS main is what you're seeing when Agility's doing. He's been playing great.
And that coming up from Grim Reality towards the back. Doesn't quite get what he's looking for. Agilities dives into the backline. Death Blossom out. Oh my goodness. It's 5 kills for Agilities. Mopping it up once more. And he didn't have Death Blossom to start the fight. He actually did a little bit of work to build that up.
Yeah, it's one of the things I've talked about, that you can just boost them, especially when he's getting nano boost, so you could do it probably at 70%, something along those lines. You only need a couple really nice shots to get some damage in, and we've seen teams do it time and again, knowing exactly where that threshold is. Will he have it by the end of it? Then we can totally do it. That's exactly what you saw there. Ultimates are pretty even up. Manitou going onto the Genji is a little bit interesting. They're choosing to fight out here, and this looks like it's already going to go Immortals' way. They're cleaning up again.
Immortals with the iron defense, putting LG, their backs against the wall. Only 8 seconds remaining, and this might be the world's saddest Winston right there. Icefell was just trying to limp his way to the payload. Not going to happen. Payload stops right here, right now, and Immortals now in a beautiful position to move forward and take map number 1 here on Hollywood.
The concerning thing for me for LG, and they should be a little worried about this, is they only won 2 fights there, in both of which they had overwhelming ultimate advantage. Now, that's already just a bad thing for this current state of the game, but when ults become harder to come by, that becomes a really worrisome thing. And those are the only 2 fights they won, fights that they should have won for sure, but to be consistently good in Overwatch, you have to win when you're even and when you're down. They did not do either of those things.
And Rod, you have any thoughts on what we just saw there coming out from LG? I think X brings up a very important point when it comes to the ultimates, especially with the changes that are being tested on PTR, where just because you're a team good at winning fights with ult advantage, that might not mean nearly as much when you get ultimates far less.
No, they need more individual team fight wins. They can't just rely on winning off of ults, especially as the ult change is going to be coming into effect. Once the PTR patch hits and there's 25% ults, you really then have to win your fights based on positioning and aim. As they had maybe, I think, 2 minutes or a minute and a half to go on point A to win that team fight, and they had maybe 2 minutes to go. And the second phase, that would go down to like 30 seconds for both by the time the new patch hits. So they're going to have to work on some things. I mean, that's always been my biggest complaint so far about LG, is that the combination of Icefeld and Manitin has been frustrating at times.
I'll see if they have a little bit better showing here on their defense. Agility's going back to his Genji. So that should be interesting. Genji on Hollywood first. I wonder if they will couple it with anything else to give a more divey composition. It does not appear so far. They were just going to run pretty standard, but Agility right now is going to be on the Genji. Defensively, they are going to throw in a Mei here, so that is a little bit interesting. Not necessarily something you see 100% of the time on Hollywood, but Mei on defense can work anywhere.
Defense right now, and shaping up for the LG squad, and really, you take a look at Manton here. A lot's going to have to be said for the control of this May. He's going to have a crazy May game, because the best chance for LG taking this map is the full hold here in point A, which, while not impossible, definitely not the most likely thing in the world, especially with how teams have been playing Hollywood recently. And look at how much space LG is giving up despite playing the May. This is not why you play May in this situation. You don't give up this much room. And now things have gone from bad to worse as a really big opportunity has developed here for the side of Immortals.
Well, they are going to wall him in now and try to engage, but the wall does not keep them, and they are able to rotate out around it, so they're going to back up and try that again momentarily. They do want to create that space. Grim taking down Icefeld is really brutal for them. That is one of their big stoppers, especially they're running with 3 tanks.
2 kills coming out here from Immortals, and I gotta say, I'm not impressed with how LG came out here at all. When you run a controlled defense with a May, you have to be aggressive, you have to contest opening areas. They just backed out and gave Immortals everything they wanted. There was no point running the May there if that's how you're going to play it.
There's 2 great places to put the wall. 1, right in front of the car so that you don't let them in main, or 2, let them in main and put it behind them so that they can't rotate up the stairs and then fight. Yeah, that's what you're doing to change the battlefield. They waited till they got in a wide open space, dropped the wall there. I completely agree with you. That was a very misused character in that situation.
So now for Immortals, they have a little under 5 minutes to bring the payload, not even to second, just a little bit forward. Here comes Jildies, Dragon Blade on deck, moving to the backline. 2 quick kills coming out here. Not even so much from the Genji, but enough of distractions made. I don't know about the sound barrier towards the end here. I don't think it was needed from the offense, but still, they're going to clean up every kill. They're going to keep momentum going, and they're 1 team fight away from taking this map right away from LG.
Well, LG should be able to rotate out here. They don't have the ultimate overwhelming advantage, so, well, they're going to be getting close. They do get hooked in, though, so this is the kind of fight they've won before when they have more ults than the other team. Like I said, that does not bode well for the future. Icefeld going down to Grim on the Deadeye is a mistake. You cannot make in this situation.
Earthshaker coming in, and this is just relentless momentum from the side of Immortals. They're doing whatever they want to LG right now. LG has just been giving up way too many kills early on the fight. And look at Jildies right now, staying alive with 20 HP, backing off, no one's focusing him. He gets healed right back up, and everything going the way of Immortals right now. Do finally have a Death Blossom coming towards the back, but Grim Reality able to shut down Icefeld before serious damage is done. Nothing is going right now for the side of LG.
Well, Grim is just having a picnic up top. No one even sees him. He's just poking in damage. He has been a thorn in Icefeld's side all round so far. Mineral's going to come out, and I just feel bad for him even. He's going to get Dragon Bladed out there. Desperation time as they try to roll in, but Agilities does have his Dragon Blade, going to take out all the reinforcements. That was extremely one-sided.
I think they just took a haymaker in the very beginning on point A. They didn't play it well, and then they just weren't able to recover. Just way too much momentum on the side of Immortals, and they looked incredibly strong there.
I mean, not even really close. LG was never able to really get anything done on defense. They weren't able to shut down the Agilities, and then when he got going, Reality opened up and got all the frags. Not looking good for LG going to the second map, I gotta say, but I do expect us to go to Lijiang now.
And that is where Agility's got everything he wanted, more patience paying off. And again, he didn't even start that with the Death Blossom, so we like talking about Grim Reality a lot on this team of Immortals, but Agility's really having himself his own banner day there, and my goodness, LG now with a lot to prove. They're going to have to reverse sweep this on map 2 and map 3, or that is it. They're out of the tournament. This is the lower bracket. There are no more second chances. And I can't tell if Hex stepped away or he just went full Sombra.
What happened? Am I... Oh, yeah.
You've gone full Sombra on us.
Sure, why not? Yeah, so what are the maps? It would be, yeah, it's Lijiang and Kings.
Lijiang and Kings Row. I mean, I expect LG to go to Lijiang. Immortals has shown they're beatable on King of the Hill. They're a little bit weaker. Even if Lijiang is the map they want to play out of 3 between Ilios and Nepal. I mean, Kings Row, Immortals played pretty decently before. Yes, they're also beatable there because their Reaper combo maybe isn't as good, but yeah, we are going to go Lijiang.
All right, so it looks like we are going to be going to Lijiang next. Kind of like that pick coming out from LG, and just in the sense that it didn't feel like their coordination on payload was anywhere near where it needed to be, especially with what happened on the May. So Lijiang maybe will give them a chance to refocus, get some momentum, and going strong into Kings for map number 3, but they're going to have to win Lijiang first.
Well, when something like that happens with your Mei play and your composition, it seems like you just don't have a plan, right? And it looked like they didn't know. They're like, I think we're going to run a Mei here, but why? What you need like set plays, right? I think everyone in Overwatch has a bit of a playbook of like, this is our opening on King's Row. We're going to wall them here. We're going to push in here, and then you need to do this. You need to do that, right? Everyone's got a role. You diagram it up, and it just seemed like, all right, I guess we just back out to car now, and then very confusing. But as I mentioned too, they also need to start winning individual battles and individual 1-by-1s. And this is a map mode that those matter a little more than others. So we'll see if they can bring it back.
Now, you mentioned yesterday, Ruster was not having the best time on Winston, so I don't really think they're going to be using that experiment again. I expect them to be Reinhardt the whole time, but it's really up to what Icefelt and Manitin want to do. They are flexible on the heroes that they want to play, but it really doesn't seem like they've had the best performances. Yes, we missed the first 2 matches of the lower bracket for these games, so they obviously were able to do enough that they won those 2. But it feels at times they're just kind of confused about what they want to do, and that actually hurts them on King of the Hill, where you kind of have to have more incentive decisions.
Well, it is worth noting too for LG. It could just be a case too of really overall Immortals being quite good, because LG was able to get through Splice. They beat Splice 2-1.
Right.
And we thought Splice looked pretty good yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's hard to say where everything stands here. My gut feeling is that Immortals and Kingdom in particular have really leveled up their game while everyone's been going to all these in-person events and all the rest over the last few months. And I think they're real.
If they body LG like that again, they just did on Hollywood, then I will become a believer. And of course, we'll see that showdown next if Immortals does win this map.
Agility's right now taking the flank route over to left. Pays off right away, taking down Zarya. 3 kills here from Immortals, and they're having their way with LG again. Manitin finding his team all gone around him. Looks for the hook, not even gonna get that. Just needs to back out. Does not want to chain an extra death here.
And the bodying has begun. They won that fight decisively, 4 kills to 0 right there. And now they're in perfect position, set up right outside the door. Agility's hanging out in the corner. They are going to look for a sneaky hook. They do get it, a nice bubble to save Lucio's life, and the Reaper to bodyguard over there. It allows them to open the front door, though, so they have gained entry. Ruster in trouble, though. Ruster down.
Manitin right now with another hook, gonna get stymied by the Wraith form, and Manitin's been landing hooks, but he hasn't been getting any kills off of it. 2 kills here from Immortals, and oh my goodness. Because it looked like Agility was going to go for the ultimate off-the-top rope play, but decided against it. Go hold on to that Death Blast a little bit longer. And look at the next fight here, ultimate-wise. Immortals are loaded for bear. They should be able to just nano-boost into this. Agility's licking his chops, setting them up, measuring them. And he's just waiting here for that nano-boost. I expect him to go in here any moment. But for now, Immortals actually waiting a little bit here, giving the offense some time to set up. And this isn't bad. It's burning time off the clock. Here comes Agility's way to back, has to be careful of the boop, and oh no! Down he goes! He went into the trap right away, and yet Grim Reality is there from the back line, and LG still might not win this fight. They won't win this fight.
I mean, they were going to lose it if Immortals sensed that they were rotating earlier, right? And then it was kind of an odd angle that Agility's took. It's a bit of hubris that he thought he was going to be able to go over there and just kill the Lucio before he got unceremoniously dumped off the edge of the building. But as you mentioned, when Grim has not been murdering everyone, it's been Agilities, and vice versa. So what a joy it is to have 2 DPS. He's going to go in without the boost, get 1, gets his sweet revenge on the Lucio that killed him.
And just going back to the last major fight there, I looked at Agility, I was just like, wait, he's going into a trap, and Mineral, to his credit, was right there, so was Zave. So they saw the Reaper coming in, but they focused so much on that Grim Reality went in, and it was bad. Here comes the offense moving in, everyone dropping the beat, and it's too late. They don't even get on the point in time, Hex.
No. 100% to 0. The second map, same as the first, and it is not looking good. I'm trying to find a silver lining for LG, and it's someone's playing well, someone's doing something well, and right now I'm drawing a blank.
Manitin has been hitting good hooks, but I think there's something said about the support play of Immortals there, where he lands a hook, there's a shield, he lands a hook, there's Ana heals right there. So even though Manitin is finding some good opportunities, it really hasn't been enough. In fact, he's going to swap off the Hog, go to McCree, which, generally speaking, kind of a win here for Immortals, I feel like.
Probably frustrated. As you know, it's very frustrating to hit hooks and have no kills because just, like you said, Hyped has been on point, Ethan's been on point. It's been very good for Immortals. And, you know, this might not even be a case of LG playing poorly. It is a, you know, they're readjusting the situations, and maybe Immortals is just this good right now.
Immortals feels good. I mean, just the support staff, the tank play, everything has been operating there. There's very little to fault them on. What a grenade coming in from Ethan, setting them all up. No one getting healed there. Icefeld trying to pull this back, and he very well might. Has 3 kills here thus far, but still so many members up of this Immortals squad that it still might not work out. Luminosity still getting pushed back and still not going to get first control at this point.
Well, he did buy them the space by those 3 kills, and at least they're not pushed back to their doorway. Now they can fight in here in numbers as they are being able to get everyone reinforced right now. Here comes a boost onto Ruster. He gets immediately earth-shattered, focused, and killed.
My god, the responses coming out of Immortals are phenomenal right now. Ults getting countered with better counter ultimates. Nomi was waiting for it, had the perfect response, and it just feels like Immortals has been one step ahead of LG this entire series thus far.
It does seem like they are just operating on all cylinders, and there is nothing out of place on this team right now. That when everyone gets in trouble, they help each other. The focus firing is great. The shot calling has been great.
Oh, the Big Bang connects! A 4K from Grim Reality, set up by Hyped. It's beautiful, but it's scary at the same time because LG just has no response to this. They're getting destroyed on 3 or 4 different levels right now, Hex.
It's demoralizing, and right now if you're LG, you have to dig deep, and you have to find a way to win a duel, a fight, anything to start bringing it back. They have kills now, maybe they can win this one.
Here comes Icefeld, does have Death Blossom already, gonna go into the air, gets the rifle butted down by Hyped, and Agility's right now actually trying to bring this back, still has Death Blossom, he's down plenty of teammate, he's gonna find the health pack towards the end, takes down Manitin, and oh my goodness, is this happening right now? There's still a numbers advantage for LG, but you take a look at what's coming in from the flank, Immortals can very well pull this right back.
Perhaps. They're at least going to pressure them. They're going to try to bait them into coming in without their reinforcements to make a mistake. Another Pulse when comes up, just cracks the shield of Ruster, but that's going to be Immortals taking it back without much fanfare. There comes another ultimate. Agility doesn't get much out of it, so it is pretty even. And grabs going on in the backside.
Soundbearer out here from LG, and this might be LG's fight. The Soundbearer was great. The Earth Shower towards the end, stopping Nomi right in his tracks. Grim Reality trying to be a hero, but no room for hero moments here. Immortals gonna have to back up a bit. But I'm gonna note, Immortals took the point during that Hex. Like, that was a big mistake by LG to even give up the point there. So, even though LG had won those fights and was in a dominant position, they gave up control and they have very little to show for it. And Immortals one fight away from taking this round.
Yeah,
gotta like Immortals' chances here, where all I have to do is just bank up some ults.
Spacing simply wasn't there for LG, and kind of the awareness just wasn't there either. The agility's going to drop down over the top, and they're going to just charge in very aggressively. Though Manitin is in great position to take down Nomi. That should be something they can build off of in this fight.
Manitin getting early pickoffs in multiple fights now, keeping LG in this game. And I'm just going to note, by the way, look at how close Immortals was to taking the point there. They were very close.
Yeah, I almost got it back, but Immortals is going to have everything they want.
It's going to come down to Spree here. Spree needs to land a Hero Graviton to buy his team some time to get ultimates up here. They're at a big disadvantage. They're going to have to deal with Sound Barrier. A lot riding on Spree here to keep LG in this, because they lose this fight, they're going to lose around. And Graviton comes in, pulls in 3, but it's really far back. He's going to get slept. Sound Barrier is in here, and it's still looking very good for Immortals. Earthshot comes in from Ruster towards the end. Is it going to be enough? Probably not, as his team is dying all around him. Agility's getting the cleanup in the back. Sound Barrier just too much to deal with. It's going to be Immortals taking this first round.
Agilities was asleep. They did sleep Agilities during that adult, and then woke him up and then got killed. So LG has no one to blame but themselves for that one.
It's pretty rough.
The biggest thing I see between the two teams is that I just feel like there's more fundamental, basic mistakes coming out from LG that Immortals isn't making. Immortals, their counterplay has been on point. They've had very good initiations overall. And when you keep making mistakes, it catches up to you over the course of a game. And that's why Immortals right now, up 2-0, they had a dominant victory in Hollywood. Looking like they're heading towards a dominant victory here on Lijiang, unless something changes quickly here for LG.
Well, as I mentioned earlier with LG, you have to start small. You have to win a duel, and then win a fight, and then win a stage. You can't be thinking big picture here because it becomes insurmountable at that point. So you start just focusing on fundamentals, like you said, stop making mistakes, and just kind of play your own game right now. You can't think of anything that happened already. You have to have like, a very short memory. Mineral kills agilities. That's really nice.
Manitin has really just been trying to pull this back here from LG, was effectively able to get that first pick off. Spree gets taken for a ride though, so now there's going to be a short window where we're going to see Immortals come at the 65, so even though LG is going to get first control, it might be very short-lived. As people are just going down, Grimreality getting into the backline, Agility's out, looking for the pickoffs on Hog. Looking pretty good for Immortals to take this right back.
Yep, they will. They'll leave a couple on the point as they get their spam in over the bridge, and now it's going to be a question of how are they going to try to break in here. Bridge or side? Bridge is difficult to do, possible. I mean, really, it's one of the hardest points on all control maps to find a way in. The entry is very difficult. They're going to opt to go to pack side and fight in the hallway over here.
Indeed, and Agility's right now hanging in here on the point, still looking for the early hooks. LG being very tentative on their engagement here. They're not really moving with a lot of haste. It's giving Immortals extra time. Manitin off the Deadeye taking down Chance. The Kree carry continuing here from the side of Manitin. But it won't be enough. Right now he does go to a flank, looks for Grimreality, gets juked out by the crouch move. 3 kills coming in here from Immortals, and they're going to hold on once more.
Yeah, yet another time where Nomi was in deep trouble there, but he got a shield, got his Earth Shedder off because of it, and like you said, they're not missing a step on the side of Immortals right now. They look better than earlier today, so this is a team that they should, you would fully expect them to move on and win this round, and right now, if I'm Kingdom watching this, I'm actually a little worried.
I think Kingdom, they've been playing really well today. I don't think they have to worry too much, but Immortals definitely looking like there's a little bit of renewed vim vigor. Manitin getting taken out immediately by Nomi. There's a combination of just Zarya, Poke, and a Fire Strike, and can't be having that happen. You can't be losing McCree to a Fire Strike that early in a fight. It's going to cost them another 10% here and make what could have been 2 final pushes here, Hex, 1 final push, so they're in the hot seat.
You brought it up, just fundamental mistakes. There's in this and in Hollywood, there were times where like you just can't do that and expect to win fights. You simply can't. Grin takes down Manitin. He's again down in this fight. Icefeld trying to bring him back, taking down Nomi. He is boosted in. They are getting the numbers of kills that they need here. They should be able to finally flip this point back over, but they can't lose a fight the rest of this stage, or they're going to be out. They're going to be out of the tournament.
In reality, I don't think he got the memo that the fight was over. He's still trying to bring it back towards the end, but as you mentioned, for Immortals, this is a pretty low-key situation. All they need to do is win 1 more fight over the rest of the entire map. Luminosity just now getting on the board, so a lot to be said here for where Immortals stands. They can bank up some ults, even go for a junk rush here, get rid of Spree's ult and go from there, but they're going in right now. They're blowing their ultimates. Spree gonna get taken out, doesn't get much off his Graviton. Agility is cleaving through this side of LG. 3 kills for Immortals, and this might be it, unless Icefeld can pull some miracles.
Well, Icefeld and Rust are still alive, trying to bring some of it back, but Chance does take down Icefeld somewhere in the back lines there. Hyped will clean up Ruster as well. They will flip this point back over. It's going to be desperation time. You have nothing left to lose. Got to jump on this point, and that's exactly what Spree and Mineral do, trying to stall this out, using some ultimates in here. Got to start getting some kills if they want a realistic chance of actually flipping this back over to go down immediately.
Grimreality just cleaning up people that have no choice but to throw their poor bodies onto the point. Their corpses are piling up, and just like that, Immortals going to take Lijiang Tower, knocking Luminosity Gaming out of the tournament. They're going to get the rematch with Kingdom in just a moment.
LG just clearly has a little more work to do. And it could just be as simple as getting a call a little more correct next time, or not making a mistake here and there. Those things, as you mentioned, do add up a great deal.
Well, you take a look at their final pushes there. Manitin dies to a Fire Strike, dies to a Deadeye while coming back in, and sure, good on Grimreality for finding the way of getting through there, but I don't know, man. I feel like these are errors that could have been avoided. So, Rod, you were watching that entire game. What do you think of what we were seeing there? You appear to be muted.
Okay, you got me, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we know Immortals is vulnerable from the games we've seen earlier today against Kingdom, then the matches we saw them play yesterday, along with the last few weeks. So we know that they're beatable. It really just seemed like more of LG's problems. Consistent problems between Manitin and Icefelt, doing the things they want to, and just kind of maybe coordination issues. There's a lot of getting picked off, there's a lot of being too aggressive, and there's a lot of poor ult combinations that I think are really hampering them. At the same time, while we've been giving a ton of praise to Grimiality and to agilities of Immortals, I think Hyped and Nomi also deserve a lot of love for how well that they're playing on the team right
I
now.
fully agree, and Hyped in particular, I mean, there were so many times where Manitin would get a hook, and Hyped was just right there with the shield. Not the easiest to have that level of hook timing, but honestly, it was very effective coming out from Immortals, and we did allude to it a little bit during the cast that there's not really a weak point on this team. We've seen Ithan land great sleep darts all over. Chance was being very evasive on Lucio all throughout the day. I mean, you take a look at what last time up against Kingdom, Chance is not an easy kill on Lucio, and it's not even what he was really born and raised on. Overwatch. He used to be a tank player, now he's on support. So for Immortals, there's a lot that's working for their squad.
Well, that's how you become a dominant Overwatch team, is you start looking at a roster and you try to pick out the weak spot. And when that becomes very difficult, that's when teams start being consistently very good. That's the one thing we always said about Envious, even back to the days when they were IDDQD, is you say, you look up and down this roster and there's no weakness. And that was the reason that they won 60 games in a row.
It has no weakness, Hex. It has no weakness.
Right.
You have no idea what I'm referencing, but it's completely okay.
No,
someone in chat will get it.
I was just going to smile and nod. I was being polite.
Do we have a second lobby already?
We're working on that second lobby here. So I think what we're going to do here, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, it will be that lower bracket final coming up, going to be the rematch. Kingdom versus Immortals. Winner goes on to the grand finals to get that destined matchup versus Cloud9. Kingdom definitely itching for that matchup. Immortals just looking for their chance to get back in. But this is Alienware Monthly Melee. I'm ZP, that's Hex and Slasher, and we'll be right back.